We're here to predict the final group games, and I can give you guys an update on our standings in this competition. That's right guys, this is the World Cup Predictor for Qatar 2022. The rules are on the screen right now. Pause if you need to catch yourselves up with those, but we have got a lot to go through today. We need to predict the last group games for the World Cup before we lose some teams who get knocked out, of course. And we also have our league table where we can update you guys on how things are standing in our little group competition here. So here is the league table. This is up to the end of the first group games because obviously the games are becoming thick and fast. There's literally been no time for me to actually make videos. So this is the end of the first group games. We have Stuyben and Timo on 22 points, Wilf on 17 points, MW2 and Ben on 14 points, Annie and myself on 9 points, and Jack on 6 points. Now, I know for a fact that a lot of people have got much closer to Stuyben and Timo in the second round of group games. They're not quite over yet. Just so that you guys know, I've seen up until Spain and Germany. I'm recording this pretty much straight after Spain and Germany. So I have seen everything up until that point. I've not seen any of the final group games from game week 2, if that makes sense. So yeah, the point system's looking interesting for the league table, and we're going to catch up with Stuyben and Timo. I'll tell you that for free. Remember guys, you need to get your predictions in the comments down below before the first game of the final group games kicks off on Tuesday. Crikey. It's coming thick and fast, isn't it? And of course, make sure you watch the whole video so you know which games we are predicting this week, and also hit a like on the video as well to show your support. We got 10 likes on the last video. Can we get 11? So firstly, we're looking at Group A. We got Netherlands and Ecuador that drew 1-1 this week, and Senegal beat Qatar 3-1. What does that do for the table? Well, Netherlands are currently sat at the top with 4 points, Ecuador with 4 points as well, and then Senegal have got 3. It's all to play for, to say the least. Senegal could go through quite easily. Qatar are out of it. So the key game here is Ecuador versus Senegal. If Ecuador get any point whatsoever, they are through. They are qualified. If Senegal manage to win the game, they will qualify. If it's a draw, it's not good enough for Senegal, unless Qatar manage to beat the Netherlands. And frankly, it's more likely to snow in July. It's just not going to happen, is it? So, predictions-wise for these games, I have actually gone for Netherlands to top the group. I've gone for them to win 3-0 against Qatar. And I am going to go for Ecuador to beat Senegal. I've enjoyed watching Senegal, but Ecuador are actually one of my favourite teams to watch this World Cup. They're unbeaten so far, and they've performed brilliantly, in my opinion. So I think they very much deserve to qualify from this group. I've gone for 1-0 to Ecuador over Senegal. So that's predictions for Group A. I think it was the most straightforward group out of the lot. Wales have unfortunately left it all to do in this last game in Group B because they lost to Iran 2-0 very poorly, in my opinion. Iran now actually sit in second place in this group, in Group B, just behind England on 4 points, Iran 3, USA 2 and Wales 1. Who do I think is going to qualify from the group? I think it's going to be USA. I think England do qualify, and I think that USA do come in behind them. USA, I personally think, have got one of the most interesting teams in the whole World Cup. I think they've got a really good base, and I think they will build on that coming forward. Of course, the next World Cup 2026 is in the USA, and I made a bold prediction to Ben this week where I was texting him and saying, like, look, I really like this USA team. Watching them play against England, they were frustrating the hell out of me, and that's because they're genuinely a good squad. And I said to him, USA to make a semi-final in 2026. So he said, I've got to say it on the video to make everyone aware of this bold prediction. So there we go. I think personally USA will get to a semi-final in 2026. I think they've got a very decent young squad, and they're only going to build on that in the next 4 years. As for these games right now, I think they beat Iran. I've gone for 2-1 to USA, and I've also put England to win 1-0 against Wales. It's going to be a difficult game against Wales. Wales just will do anything in their power to get one over England, let's face it. And if Wales do win by, I think, 4 goals, they will actually go through ahead of England. So it's all to play for in Group B, unfortunately. You'd like to think England would have put it to bed by now, but that's not the case. They are in the driving seat, though, and I think they will go through. Now, Lionel Messi decided to turn up this week. Unfortunately for Mexico, that meant that they are now bottom of the table with only 1 point. Now, I'm trying to do some maths in my head because I've put basically, I've put it that Poland might actually not go through. Saudi Arabia, based on my predictions, wouldn't go through. Would Mexico have enough? I've gone for 2-1 to Argentina and 3-1 to Mexico. Does that mean that Mexico have done enough to get through? On goals, Poland would go down by 1 goal difference, so they'd be on 1. Mexico they'd be on 1 as well, so then it'd be the head-to-head. What was the head-to-head between Poland and Mexico? Was that game 1? It was, wasn't it? Poland and Mexico drew 0-0. So then it goes to goals scored. Jesus Christ, I've created a right malarkey here. What happens then? Goals scored. Mexico would have 3 goals scored. Poland would only have 1 goal scored. That would be a draw as well. What the hell happens there? Goals against, maybe? Poland go through on goals against? I don't know. Essentially, I would end up my table having Mexico and Argentina. Well, Argentina would go through with 6 points. Mexico and Poland would both have 4 points. It would be a mathematical nightmare. Both of them would be completely dead set. Poland would go through on less goals conceded, I believe. So, yeah, I've created an absolute massive issue in Group C, but that's the prediction I've gone with. 2-1 to Argentina and 3-1 to Mexico. I think Saudi Arabia had such a good, strong start to the tournament, but then have fallen apart since then. And I think Mexico have actually got a decent squad. I'll be sorry to see them go, but based on my prediction, I think Poland still go through. Group D then. This is France versus Tunisia and Australia versus Denmark. And I think everyone has fallen in love with Australia a little bit during this World Cup. They've just gone about their business. They got a win, obviously, against Tunisia, and that puts them now in a very strong position to potentially qualify from this group. France are going to win this group hands down. There's going to be no issues there. But will Australia have what it takes? This Australia versus Denmark game is key. If Australia don't lose, they qualify out of the group. If Denmark win, they qualify out of the group. So Denmark must win this game. Australia just don't lose. That's the only aim they have, basically. I've put France to win 2-0 against Tunisia. I think they will put some different players within the squad. I think they'll still want to finish top of the group and guarantee that, just in case Australia win by a big margin. I don't think they will. But I think that, yeah, France will still want to put a semi-decent side out, but they will play some fringe players in this game to get them some game time. Australia-Denmark then. This is key. 2-0 to France. I've gone 1-1 between Australia and Denmark. I believe in the Aussies. I think they're going to do it. Denmark haven't looked as good as I thought they were going to look in this World Cup, unfortunately. They've underperformed massively. They're the biggest underperformers in the tournament, that's safe to say. So yeah, I have gone for Australia to get the draw, which would mean Australia qualify from the group in second place. I personally think it is a blinking brilliant prediction. If this happens, it will be amazing. It would be absolutely insane. Moving on to Group E then. So Group E has been left in the balance in the sense that if Germany beat Costa Rica and Spain beat Japan, then Germany will still go through. Obviously, Germany, I've only just watched they drew against Spain. That now means that they need to get the win against Costa Rica. Will they get the win against Costa Rica? I think so, personally. I think Japan are going to rue having lost to Costa Rica. That is a massive issue for them. I don't think Costa Rica have got what it takes to qualify from this group, unfortunately. I thought Japan did. I thought we might see Germany go home, but Spain fumbled the bag and unfortunately have made it so that the Germans have another lifeline in this tournament, which is not what we wanted to see. I have gone for 2-1 to Spain against Japan, and I have gone for 1-0 to Germany against Costa Rica. I'm playing these predictions now more theoretically, thinking about what actually could happen. Beforehand, I whack in some fun predictions, like Premier League Predictor. I'm always chucking in a ball draw somewhere. I'm always picking an outside bet at some point during my predictions as well. And I've done that a bit in the World Cup too. Now I'm thinking, I'm so far behind everyone, I need to catch up. So I'm actually trying to take this a bit more seriously. I think Spain beat Japan. Spain are too good. Germany have woken up. They do beat Costa Rica, meaning it's Germany going in second and Japan go home, which is not what I want. I want Japan to go through, but I just don't think they've got enough to see off Spain. They should have beat Costa Rica. They could have been done by this point. Okay, this group, Group F, is huge. Canada have gone home. Unfortunately for them, they're actually possibly the most entertaining team to watch at this World Cup. They scored their first ever World Cup finals goal the other day with Alphonso Davies getting the goal. Great header, great move, great cross. But unfortunately for them, they did go on to lose the game. They are now out of the tournament. They are facing up against Morocco, who currently sit in second, having won a game and drawn a game, which is mental. The fact that they got that win against Belgium is absolutely insane. And I think Morocco could qualify from this group. What I've put is this. Morocco come up against Canada. Arguably, Morocco are now favourites to win this group. They've got the easiest fixture on paper in this final round of games. However, I'm going a little bit different with this one. I think this is the tightest group out of any group in the competition. Even though Canada have lost games, they've arguably been competing in every match they've played. I've gone for 1-1 between Croatia and Belgium and 1-1 between Canada and Morocco. What this means is Croatia go through top of the group, Morocco go through second in the group, and Belgium go home. Belgium have underperformed even worse than Denmark. I thought Belgium would walk this group personally, with Croatia coming in second quite comfortably, but this group has been full of surprises. It's been the most entertaining group of the World Cup by far, so I'm very happy to see that Morocco are going to qualify for the knockout stages after 2 1-1 draws in Group F. Okay, so now we're at the point where you guys get an advantage. I have not seen Group G and Group H's second games yet. Because I have to make this video and give you guys enough time to make your predictions, I have to make predictions before any of Group G or H have played their second games. So you guys are a bit of an advantage. I've only seen that Brazil have won one game, Switzerland have won a game, and that Portugal won, and the rest, you know, the rest of the results are what they are. So I'm at a little bit of a disadvantage here. Going into Group G, I saw Serbia play and was bitterly disappointed with the efforts they put in. I've obviously seen Switzerland and Cameroon play, saw the Swiss get the victory. I'm going with Switzerland to beat Serbia 1-0, and I'm going for Brazil to beat the Cameroon 3-1. Brazil, I don't think are as good as we thought they were going to be coming into this World Cup. They got carried a little bit by Richarlison, of all people. Richarlison had an absolutely insane game and scored that incredible bicycle kick, which was really nice. Or was it like, I don't know, what would you call that sort of side volley in the air? I don't know. Either way, it was pretty. So yeah, we see Brazil probably come out of that group. Again, I don't know what's happened today in the second group game, so I can't really judge where I think this is going to go. I expect Brazil do win every game in this group, and Switzerland do qualify as well in second place. So yeah, I think that's a pretty straightforward group. But I think 1-0 to Switzerland and 3-1 to Brazil is pretty standard procedure. And of course, don't know anything about Group H either. All I know is Portugal won their opening fixture, and South Korea and Uruguay drew, which was huge from South Korea. Really enjoyed watching them in that game, and Uruguay were one of my favourites to go through the group. They still are. I still think that Uruguay will make it. Obviously, that means Portugal are playing Uruguay tomorrow as of recording this. So, if they lose to Brazil, their last game up against Ghana is massive, because they have to win, whereas South Korea against Portugal, though I think Portugal do win that. I've put 3-1 to Portugal, 2-0 to Uruguay, and yeah, I think that the table in the end, even though Uruguay had a bit of a stumble against South Korea, the table in the end, after everything's said and done, is going to be the way that I thought it would go. Portugal top of the group, Uruguay second. In fact, no, in my predictions, I think I put Uruguay first. But either way, still both those teams qualifying from Group H. It's so hard for me to predict Group G and Group H at this point in the tournament when I haven't seen the games that have come before it. You guys are privileged. You got such an advantage over me. So here's a rundown of all my predictions for the final group games in the 2022 Qatar World Cup. In Group A, we're going with a 1-0 win to Ecuador and a 3-0 win to the Netherlands. Group B, we're going 2-1 to the USA and 1-0 to England. Group C, we got 2-1 between Argentina and Poland, with Mexico winning 3-1 in the other game in that group. Group D, France to win 2-0 and Australia and Denmark to draw 1-1. Group E sees Spain win 2-1 and Germany win 1-0. Group F, we got 2 1-1 draws. In Group G, Switzerland to win 1-0 and Brazil to win 3-1. Group H, Portugal to win 3-1 and Uruguay to win 2-0. Remember guys, get your predictions in before that first game kicks off. I believe it's 3 o'clock tomorrow as of you guys watching this. So make sure you get your predictions in. Make sure you predict every game that is included in the video as well. Don't lose out on any points. And yeah, please like this video. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new as well. Remember, after the World Cup is finished, we're going straight back to Premier League Predictor, baby. And that is a massive season of predictions from you guys. If we do manage to grow as a channel by the end of this year, I will put a prize on the line for the next season. So you guys watching the video all the way through, liking the video, subscribing to the channel, helps me get out there to more people, helps more people get involved in Premier League Predictor and Euros Predictor and World Cup Predictor, whatever I happen to be doing at the time. More people, the more likely I'm going to be able to put a prize on the line for the end of it. And I think over a season, it'll be a decently sized prize for the winner. So if you want to see that happen, make sure you're supporting my channel as much as possible, whether it be these predictor videos or my FIFA based content. That's it for today's video though guys. If you enjoyed, hit a like, comment your predictions down below, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one.